Hi, in this video I plan to do some troop speed training in King of Avalon. I've been looking at recent losses, and I want to train a lot of different troops. Actually, my ultimate goal was I just want to have plenty of all troops that I'm using in my march capacity, and maybe just 5 times the amount that I'm using in a player versus player or player versus engine march. So that I don't have to retrain anything anytime soon. But I first want to focus on the troops that I lose most, and of those troops, by far I lose the most of the tier 10 infantry. Currently I have 70,000 of those in my player versus player march preset, and I don't have that many, so I want to train an additional 230,000 or something like that. They're about to make sure that I have enough, and I don't during events I don't get into the situation that I feel I have to retrain during an event to be able to march with my preferred march preset. So that's something I'm going to work on in this video. I already have done some preparation. I have gotten some resources from one of my farm accounts, which should be plenty. So yesterday I actually also did some preparation in the sense that I upgraded my military tents. So now I have 1 of 32 and I believe 9 of 31, so it's quite a nice amount. Of course I have my equipment ready for training. I have my hero, what I always do. At least currently I still use more Gauss, and the alternative is still quite far away. I got quite some fragments yesterday. Currently I have enough fragments to upgrade Evane the Bestower to 5 stars, but not yet to 6 stars, and 5 stars is not really interesting because the healing speed is lower than Morgau, so I'm going to wait with that. Ultimately I want to get that 72%. And I always use Lady Isabel for the extra training capacity, especially for speed training. For normally day-to-day training it's not really necessary, but here you want to have as large amounts of troops that you can train as possible. So that's what I did as well. Besides that, I just purchased a training scepter for a few hours, and I activated one of the temporary accolades. The conquering hero gives a small troop training boost. So those things, it's just all quite small, but it's still it still combines to quite a nice amount. The training speed of 219.5%. Of course it's even nicer if you do it during these special times when you get plus 300, but that doesn't always coincide with events, and I wanted to have the events as well. We have the point event, which is the resources are not really interesting, but I expect I will get to this level that I get, at least it's not much, but at least I get these hegemony fragments. Ultimately, maybe if I get and participate in a few more of these events, I can finally make my first hegemony piece. These dragon chest keys may be interesting, not that interesting I think. And of course the 300% you also only get for a limited amount of troops, but that's why, and at the same time, besides this point event, we also have the training stage. I actually already have enough by just doing my daily training. I already had enough, but it's also nice to rank well here, both for the leaderboard for today and also for the overall leaderboard. If I'm going to train 200,000 tier 10, I definitely expect to end up nicely. Okay, finally, once I start, I will activate the population search, which will really reduce the amount of resources I use by a lot. So the combination of this one, the training cost minus 10.5, and then this one training cost minus 25%. So that is shaving off 35 0.5%, which is nice. Let's look, well, 2,726, quite a nice amount. Currently I have 114, I can best look at that, and if I want to train 235, so that is 350, nice amount. So I'm going to try to get to 350,000 tier 10 inventory. Okay, let's get started. If it is getting boring, just I will probably say some things, but not very interesting things, so I don't have to watch the whole video. Can just look at, see at least how I have prepared things. Okay, let's go. It's almost, you can almost say, it is going to be important to finish things as soon as possible, so that for the complete time you can enjoy this reduction, because the resource reduction is quite significant. So the training speed ups, I get them via various ways, but a lot I get from the daily purchasing from the Merlin trials, which is quite nice. And I've not been doing that for a very long time. First, I didn't really know that well what to do with those Merlin trial coins. Didn't really investigate well enough what the options were. But now I have done so. And these speed ups seems like a very good, that will undoubtedly happen so now and then. So I might train a bit less. Would be nice if you can, and with tier 10 it's not so bad, but sometimes I've also speed trained like tier 2, tier 4 infantry. And that's really quite annoying that you have to scroll through those. And of course we hope that the connection will stay quite well. Lately I've been having some connection problems. Not sure, I think it's related to the server, not to my computer, because I've not been experiencing them with any other apps that I'm running, but yeah, I don't know that for sure. Because this is one of the, I think demanding a bit more from my internet connection and my computer, also because I'm running it on BlueStacks, so not completely sure, but yeah. You can see that this is just going very slow, and that is why there is this importance of having the training queue, the training march capacity as high as possible, because you really want to still minimize the amount of time you spend on this. If I don't finish it now, which is possible, I probably still will go on until my resources are gone, because otherwise my food is just going away. But I might also train again a bit more tomorrow. The point event is still going on tomorrow. Might train anyway tomorrow. But the Kingdom raid, the training stage is then over. The real raid stage has begun tomorrow. So Yeah. It is one of the more annoying things in some other games that I've played that were similar to this game. They at least let you have very high training capacities. I mean, there is no, the only, you still have to spend the same amount of resources and speed ups when the training queue is very large. The only thing is you make it less time consuming for your players. So I don't really know why they don't make that easier. You have these items now, but they're hard to come by, and I believe only work for one training batch. So yeah, what's that if you have an item of 5,000? Don't know, or maybe I'm missing something. I haven't really used them. Yeah, can you imagine if you, and I have done that actually, have to train 100,000 of the lower tier troops. That is very annoying. So yesterday, I mean, the point event today is not so interesting. We only have this troop training, and I think you get some rewards for buying packs today, which is not so interesting. Yesterday, after a reset, quite some different point events finished, and I did quite well, got quite some rewards. Might have checked out my video where I used speed ups for my building my or upgrading my military tents. That's got me quite some points for the Build Your City event. I ranked and I ranked number 1 there. I ranked number 1 as well in the Gathering event, and I ranked in the top 5 for the Monster event, and in the top 50 for the event where you get points for spending gold. Dus at the moment, for the got actually this purple hero weapon fragment, so I was quite happy with that reward for the top I think 20 to 50. Above that, actually, you got not that big amount of these war scrolls, so I was actually a bit happy. I mean, I was intentionally, this is one of the annoying things, very annoying when you're playing an event. So I was actually in that event happy with what that I stayed between 20 and 50. I intentionally didn't spend more gold because I preferred these hero weapon ones. I'm going to reset, taking too long. I'm not going to make it even close to getting to this 350,000. Within half an hour. Oops. Always so annoying that these spend screens pop up. I mean, when I want to play the game, I just want to play the game. And sometimes, I mean, you already have to restart to play, it becomes very annoying that that they put in these splash screens, and sometimes even more than one. Yeah, it's annoying. But anyway, it does seem lately that the game is focused a bit more on pleasing the small and non-spenders. Probably, I expect this is because a lot of people are leaving the game and they just try to keep the community happy. Do some effort, which is good. I hope it's not too late. Ways with these games, I mean, they get the money from the real money I think they earn, they get from a relatively small amount of big spenders. But for those people to stay, it is important for them to keep the whole community happy. And that's not always what these type of games are focused on. So sometimes you see that these games have a very short life cycle. But luckily for this game, they've done it relatively well in my eyes. And the fact that it has already been, I've been playing it now for about 3 years, and that says a lot in my eyes. It has already been around for 3 years. The fact that I'm going so slow through my speed ups is maybe not. I mean, it's nice, of course, but it's. I thought I would use almost all of my troop training speed ups with this exercise, but it will still take quite some time. Yeah, I'm really trying to use more speed ups, use more of my resources that I have, not stock up so much anymore. Win some events and also make the game easier for myself. Definitely, this amount of troops will help. People will be. Did the wrong one again. People will be less likely to attack me or have more casualties when they attack me, which is a nice. Side benefit, because my main goal is just like I said early on in the video, that I don't want to be forced to retrain, or last time in Kingdom versus Kingdom had quite some losses, and I almost after one hit I felt like I hardly have enough tier 10 infantry to even continue on in the event. Which is of course really a pity. And as you see how fast you can, I should say how little it costs to retrain your troops. I still find it time consuming, but from speed ups and resource point of view, doesn't cost much. So that is still not so bad. You can participate in kingdom versus kingdom and lose quite some troops, still be okay, just retrain them. Training a few batches of tier 11 infantry is actually also not bad. I also lost quite some tier 11 infantry. I have a lot more of those, or relatively a lot more, I mean, compared to what I use. I don't use that many. Just want to take a small break. Oh, I'm only halfway time-wise, so maybe I am going to make it. I just saw that the video was already running for almost 15 minutes when I had to restart the app, but maybe I was just chatting a lot away before I really started with the training. So that's actually nice. Yeah, I think I should, if I look at the time now, I should actually, if I don't get any connection issues, I should easily make it. Used up a bit more resources than I wanted because of this these two batches of tier 11 infantry troops. But I should have a bit more. Normally the real points during the kingdom raid are given away during the raid stage, so even if I rank number 1 here and have a lot of points, doesn't mean anything for the overall standing. But anyway, I'm going to compete as well during the raid stage, so it yeah, from that point of view it's still going to help me. Raid stage, I mean, it's nice to rank high, definitely, but not my, yeah, maybe I'm more focused on two things. I just want to score enough points so that I get all the personal rewards. And then I want to get lots of resources. I just find that, yeah, free resources nice. I am going to do quite some expensive buildings relatively, so I have almost enough, it's a bit exaggerating, we still need more than 100, but I'm getting close to having enough batches for my next stronghold upgrade, which is 38. So that went quite fast because of various events that I got extra from, even though this week and past week we didn't use the Noble Badge Alliance celebration. Can say a bit more about that later. You just have to keep going. But before I can do that, I still have to upgrade my wall and my storehouse, which yeah, also require a significant amount of resources. So if I can go out raiding and get at least part of the resources that I require for my wall and storehouse, that's just nice. Yeah, what I wanted to say about the Alliance celebration. So this week, somebody that really wants to improve his equipment without consulting, just chose the Alliance celebration that gives Lord equipment. Well, if you have any doubt about ever doing that, don't. Because it relatively gives very little materials. Besides that, based on that, I did some questionnaire, which we already have done earlier, but actually most of our members, at least the ones that answered my small questionnaire, want the noble badges and or the prestige banners from the Alliance celebration. There's a bit of a favor for noble badges. So that is, there is no reason at all to go for Lord equipment. We have a bit, I'm now the R5 of my Alliance. Previously, I mean, it was a very good guy, was doing R5, but he, one thing that I have a bit of doubt about whether that was the best move is that he promoted people to R4 more as a reward than that they really needed to fill in the role of we really had work to do as R4, and that's in itself not a problem, and for some of them that worked quite well. And I mean, I also like people to be able to do things if they can stock up stores themselves because they are R4. That's only good. Don't want to be bothered, and others also don't want to be bothered if they don't have to be bothered. But what also happens is that people just make decisions for the Alliance, either conscious or unconscious, when they are R4, and that is not always that nice. In this case, it was maybe not that damaging. I mean, it's just you miss the rewards for 1 week. Still annoying, but not that bad. We also had this Alliance hunt when I think probably mentioned that in some earlier videos, where several people accidentally started the Alliance hunt when we weren't ready for that at all. They just thought it was some personal monster that had to be beaten. Yeah, that was a bit painful. So that's definitely a drawback of having many R4. So where am I at now? 4 more to go. Still quite a nice amount of speed-ups, trading speed-ups left, so I can already start saving up for the next troop training. And there's quite a nice amount added daily from the Merlin trials, and I'm sure I'm getting some from events as well, so that's good. But I did use a lot today. Okay, now just set up some troop training for tomorrow. Just do a 24-hour batch. I think it is quite a lot. More than I think before. I was somewhere in 1100. Before my work yesterday. Normally always like to do 24-hour batches. so that I can start one 24-hour batch each day. Of course, over time that becomes a bit later in the day, that is the moment we skip. Let's see if my, well, that's almost active. Training still 5 minutes. Okay, I'm going to set up some research later, but that doesn't have to be part of this video. Okay, let's just look at the points events, whether I got as far as I wanted to get. Getting food, I mean, it's always nice, and the amounts are quite decent. Yeah, as I expected, I landed somewhere between mission 7 and mission 8. Might do some more troop training tomorrow. Don't really know yet when I'm going to need this adamantite. Probably if I have to enhance the hegemony gear. I'd expect 25 of these faded dragon chest keys might be interesting as well to get. Not really sure, depends a bit. To think about it tomorrow. Probably won't make a video on that anyway. Okay, if you have any comments and any further suggestions how I can improve the queue size or my training speed, always appreciate it for myself and also for other viewers to share. And any other question or comments are also welcome. Thanks for watching the video.